This morning we're going to talk about Tammy McFadden and the SARS reports, the suspicious activity report she filed on Donald Trump's son-in-law there, Mr. Kushner, and the Deutsche Bank there in Florida. Today is Jim McDougal Day, and I'm going for the Hawaiian shirt for obvious reasons. We're going to talk about all that real estate fraud from Hawaii to Alaska to New Mexico and Utah, Carolinas, Florida, Maine, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas. Let's not leave Texas out. And the massive, unbelievable frauds of Manhattan, New York, and up in the Adirondackies. Now, I want you to know that Jim McDougal's hat means a lot to me, and his wife, the McDougals, friends of the Clintons there. There she goes. She's hiding in the background. That's Miss Anonymity there, my production manager. We're going to discuss the Deutsche Bank money laundering. I've dubbed it the Great American Laundry. That's where they ship huge amounts of dirty money from mobsters over to the bank, and they mix it all in with the clean money, allowing Deutsche Bank to loan out huge amounts of money and invest in large numbers of those subprime mortgage-backed securities there, those crooked little mortgages. Because you see, if you take dirty money, take notes here, ladies and gentlemen, this is as expert as it gets. You take dirty money and you mix it in with clean money, and then you find you a bunch of dumbasses. You find you a bunch of people that just want to borrow far more money than they can ever hope to repay on a house that they can't afford. They set them up and bait them with easy credit financing on these great big, stupid, overpriced, overappraised houses. And they reel those consumers right in just like them great big fish off the back of the Bertrams in the Bermuda Triangle. That's my production manager there. She's wandering around in the background. She made her appearance, but she's undercover this morning. She's pretty hot, actually, today. Now, back to the mortgage fraud. You loan large amounts of money to people who they ain't never going to pay it back. They're going to stub their toe financially, and they're not going to be able to repay their mortgages. And whiz bang pop, you're going to get to change that dirty money into a clean piece of American real estate. The Great American Laundry. This is why all this mortgage fraud's being perpetrated, because the money launderers in these big banks, well, they got to clean their money up somehow. So we're going to call this the Great American Laundry. Christopher Wray, who would be the director of the FBI. And William Barr over there at the Department of Justice, and President Donald J. Trump. This is expose the deep state, the swamp files. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, everybody who knows me, I am the son of the Swamp Fox, and we have been running the Fox News since 1970. The original Fox News, the Swamp Fox News of the Adirondacks of New York. One thing I know, ladies and gentlemen, is the real estate schemes and scams and the real estate swindles of the last 50, 60 years and going back even much further. Friends of mine from Hawaii, where this beautiful shirt came from. This is a Bob shirt, just for the record. William Wagner. Old Bill Wagner. This is a Bob shirt. Trust me, Bill, I know who Bob was. This massive laundering of money that all the banks, it's not just Deutsche, it's not just JP Morgan Chase, it's not just Bank of America and Wells Fargo and Wachovia, not just Citibank or Superior Bank there, of Taylor, Bean, and Whitaker fame over there in Ocala, Florida. Lee Farkas, you had quite a run of it. You and Madoff would make interesting cellmates there in Butner in North Carolina. You and Madoff could be what they call cellies, or bunk butties at the federal prison in Butner. And you could, well, I'd love to come in there with TV cameras and we could talk about the great American laundry. And for Donald Trump, you know, I'm sorry you lost your battle to keep your financial records secret. That federal judge said, no, Donald, you got to cough up your financials. And it's going to get ugly, folks. I just want all the Trump people to understand that I'm from New York, too. Right, Donald? Tell him, man. He's that kid. He was up in the Adirondacks at Lake George. He taught all the mafia how to water ski and go snorkeling and how to start their snowmobiles and jet skis up there at Old Harris Bay on Lake George, New York, where the mafia spends their summers. And they go snow skiing, too, up at Gore Mountain. And the Brandt Brothers West Mountain. They used to go skiing over at West Mountain. Ladies and gentlemen, America has been robbed for untold trillions, and the real estate-backed mortgage securities market is smack dab in the heart of it. And if you have any questions about that, get a hold of Nelda Luce Radabow Blair from the Woodlands Corporation up there north of Houston, and get a hold of United States District Judge Lynn Hughes and Judge Lee Rosenthal of the law firm of the former Secretary of State, James Baker III. They know me, along with Sewell and Riggs, and good old Judge Michael Mays from Conroe, Texas, and Judge Kathleen Hamilton of Conroe, Texas. They all know who this kid is. And my record, oh God, do I have a record or what, of exposing real estate fraud in America. And Julian Assange, you can't steal my work. And Alex Jones, you're a worthless piece of pig dropping. You never did get involved in that fight because you knew that's where the real dirt laid. You and Julian Assange are frauds. Absolute frauds. I will give a tip of the hat. This is a Jim McDougal. I'm going to give a tip of a Jim McDougal hat to Rolling Stone, because Rolling Stone got involved with this with Matt Taibbi. And I want people like Catherine Austin Fitz and Linda Miner and Cat Wolford. My old, who the hell knows Cat Wolford? Well, of course I do. I know Cat Wolford. She was the white elephant lady who was liquidating all that crooked real estate after I exposed the savings and loan scandal in Texas. I exposed the savings and loan scandal in Texas. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the doctor. Donald J. Trump, where you messed up was doing business with the Triad. Where you messed up is your dealings with Khashoggi and Ghazafar and the Bin Ladens. That's where you tripped yourself up when you were intermingling with Oliver North and Secord and Poindexter and North and Ronald Reagan. Remember old Reagan? And George Bush Sr. from the 26th floor of the Houstonian Estates. You can ask Hillary and Billy Bob Blowjob Clinton about that 26th floor of the Houstonian Estates, which, of course, I built. Ladies and gentlemen, I was there. And during the Sharpstown banking scandals and the Colonial House, look up the Colonial House scandal there with Mel and Steve Powers. And, I don't know, the I-35 condo swindles and that giant savings and loan fiasco that was really all about the banks. The banks got robbed for 1,000 times more money than the S&Ls. But before old Judson left Texas, we shut down 9,868 banks and savings and loans. And it all started, Donald J. Trump, with the Eagle Title Company. This is for my pals over at Classic Title. and Old Republic title there in Tampa, St. Pete, Florida. It all started with my old buddy, Mr. Charles Fitz of DeLang, Hudspeth, Fitz and Katz. Greenway Plaza, Houston. Very fun. Oh, man, these are the big dog lawyers, man. And in U.S. District Judge Lynn Hughes Court, Charles Fitch actually wrote me a big check when I beat First American Title Insurance Company in federal court and Eagle Title Company of Conroe and the Western Banks. Let's not leave Western Banks out of this because everybody knows who John C. McCone, Western Banks. Look that one up, folks. And you'll see how this great American laundry actually works. Now, folks, I'm going to leave it right there. And a last point of order here, I just want to let the people know that, yes, we got a bunch of U.S. District Court subpoenas for everybody. And the clerk in Tennessee was an incredible gentleman. He gave them to us for free, no charge, and put his nice little clerk stamp on there and everything, and they're ready to rock and roll. They're as hot as a $3 pistol, like my production manager who's sitting over here taking notes. You ought to see the hat she's got on. Well, I'll tell you what, she looks like Zsa Zsa Gabor today. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to leave it at that. If you got any questions, get a hold of William Barr and Christopher Ray over there at the FBI and ask them about the 26th floor of the Houstonian Estates and how Charlie Wilson and Joanna King and Bill and Hillary Clinton and George and Babs and George and Laura and that whole Iran-Contra gang from North to Poindexter to Casey were wheeling and dealing in all those weapons out of uptown Houston there in the middle of the triad. Right, Donald J. Trump, the triad in Houston, Texas. Folks, we'll leave it right there. If you got any questions or if you want to one final note. I need to talk to Tammy McFadden, the whistleblower from Deutsche Bank in Jacksonville, Florida. And apparently there's 5 other internal auditors that can testify to how Deutsche Bank is one of, not the, but one of the dirtiest banks in the world. And Donald Trump, you should have known better. Borrow money from somebody else, Donald. Don't play around with them mobster banksters. Folks, we'll leave it right there. And as always, hasta la vista. God bless, and we will be back.